attention. If anybody knows the last known whereabouts of American jazz pianist Peter Martin, please send that information to Andrew at openstudionetwork.com. Let us know which concert venue you saw him in, which blazer he was wearing during the performance, and how he sounded. Miss you, Pete. I'm Adam Maness, and you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast. Still going solo as Peter is out touring the world, as he's apt to do. But digging the solo lessons, love having the lessons at the piano, and it's an opportunity to get to just play some music and explain some things that we get asked a lot. So on Facebook, a couple weeks ago, I got asked about this concept that we talked a lot about here at Open Studio. Geoffrey Keezer has lessons on it. Peter has lessons on it. It's the three-zone concept at the piano. And apologies to non-pianists, although I think even non-pianists are going to learn something that you could apply to your own piano playing, which every musician should have a little bit of. And this three-zone concept can be really, really useful when approaching playing solo piano tunes. I mean, I even use it with a rhythm section because I'm not scared of playing roots with my rhythm section. And the idea is really simple. It's that we have an outer zone with our left hand, which is usually the bass part. We have an outer zone with our right hand, which is usually the melody part. You can think of it as the soprano part. And then our inner zones are a combination of our inner hands, starting with the thumb for both hands. They can be a part of the inner zone. And that's really covering the tenor range and the alto range, if you're thinking about this in like that kind of TB format. And what this does is allows us to voice chords under melody with roots, to have bass movement, to have inner voice movement, and to have melodic content on top. And it really creates this great sound. So, over a tune like I Fall in Love Too Easily here. So I'm doing, I have a bass part going that's kind of independent of everything else. I have a melody that's definitely independent of everything else. And between my left and right hand inner voicings, I'm showing here on YouTube, like my thumb and my index finger, and even sometimes my middle finger, I'm voicing the chord when I want, and then I'm doing some counter melodies when I want that give it a nice reflection on what had just occurred either in the bass line or the melody. So a way that you can start implementing this is start with those outer voicings, right? Or outer voices, excuse me. So that's just the bass line and the melody. And then from there, the most, I think, easiest way to get into it is to start filling it in with chords. And we want to make sure to include the shell, and usually you can fit in one color note in there. Usually the 5th, the 13th, the 11th, the 9th, something like that. So in this case... Either my right hand or my left hand can take the sole responsibility for those chords, or I can do a combination of both. Usually with your left hand, because you have the bass note covered, you can either do the 7th or the 3rd as like an extra thing. So you might do... and then try to fill in the rest, with your right hand. For this, I actually might reach up to the 10th. Thinking about now the voicing. So then I have the 7th in my right hand, 3rd in my left, and then one color note, maybe the 9th, the G. I'm not usually thinking about it this much. I just kind of play it at this point, but it's kind of 2 notes in my left and 3 in my right, or 2 or 3 in my right. So then once you get a handle on some getting some voicings in there in that middle zone, you can start comping with it, like get some independence of rhythm. Try rolling them. And from here, we're already starting to do and to hear some counter melodies within this harmony. So we can really start playing with that. And it's great to practice just counter melodies using one of your hands. Those counter melodies happening with my right hand. I'll try it with my left. Those with the left hand, while the outer half of the left hand is trying to lay down the bass line. Wasn't as successful as my right, you might have noticed. Got to work on that. But that's really the basics of it. And then you can really do whatever you want. You can start rolling more. You can start putting in more chords, dropping more low bass lines. It's really endless what this 3-zone concept can get you as a solo pianist, and it's really, really fun concept to shed. So I encourage you to just take tunes you know really, really well, so you don't have to think about the melody or the changes, and practice that 3-zone concept in the way that I laid out, where it's like you start with just the outer melody bass line, get those comfortable, and then start adding in chords, then start adding in counter melodies, and then do all 3. Okay, so next time we'll be back with Peter, and if we find him, again, if you see him, send it to Andrew at openstudionetwork.com. Send us your speak pipes. Go to you'llhearit.com. Send us a message. Send us a voicemail. And, leave us a rating and review. And I think that's all I got for now. But until next time, you'll hear it.